Did you know that there are about 222 prayers in the Bible?
You don't know?
Different prayers. I mean, that's a lot of prayers. You guys suck. Okay. Okay, I'm not really prepared for this. I'm sorry, I have the jitters. And everybody's staring is not helping. Prayers mentioned so many times in the Bible. I'm only going to go over 2 of them, but feel free to go look for more when you get home. There are countless of them, and one of my favorites are the power of prayer, which I will recite after I do the Lord's Prayer. Now, there are many different versions of the Lord's Prayer. There's the Hebrew Greek version. We have actually a study Bible that actually says that version. The one that's in my Bible is, Our Father in heaven, let your name be kept holy. Let your kingdom come. Let your will be done on earth as it is done in heaven. Give us our daily bread today. Forgive us as we forgive others. Don't allow us to be tempted. Instead, rescue us from the evil one. And I like the one where it goes, hallowed be your name. I forget which Bible that's in, but did you know that some of the prayers in the Bible are found in more than one place? Like, the Lord's Prayer is found in Matthew and in Luke. There are many different versions of the Bible that you can find them even in 3 places. But the power of prayer is located in Matthew and in Luke also, and it's one of my favorites, and it's ask and you will receive. Search and you will find. Knock and the door will be open for you. That's only one verse, and it's like will. There's no maybe not, it's will. Now think, someone says, oh, maybe, we'll maybe do that, but has any of your parents ever said, we will do that? Will, not maybe, will. Everyone asks, will receive. The one who searches will find. For the one who knocks and the door will be opened. There's still no maybes, there's just will. And then there's, I'm going to skip a little into verse 11, and it's, even though you're evil, you know how to give good gifts to your children. So how much more will your Father in heaven give good things to those who ask him? I mean, there are some times where you ask for something that you don't need necessarily, and you expect to be given it. You don't even think about it. You're just like, I expect this will happen, and if it doesn't happen, he's not real. Well, prayer necessarily to me is where it's not where you just want to ask for something and you expect it to be given. It's something where you have faith in it. Like, one of the main keys of prayer is you have to have faith to have a good prayer. I mean, you can't just go, oh, I pray for pizza. We're having breakfast for lunch, people, okay? Prayer is something you learn to do, like mostly everything else in life. I mean, from walking to even writing to even reading. I mean, how easy is it to pray? It's speaking or singing, y'all. Come on, it's really easy. You can do it anywhere, any moment, any time. You just pray. Prayer can be formed in many different ways, from journaling to talking aloud, or even singing, or even performing in a play or a skit. Receiving the message, talking to other people. It's very, very easy. And back to about the faith. Prayer is all about having faith. Believing God hears you even when it doesn't seem like it. Those moments in time when you're feeling down and you feel like you're having the most horrible day and everything's not going right, but then you pray and you see how your spirit's been lifted because you believe that God can make it better. And the Bible's perspective of prayer is a conversation with God. And the Bible wants you to talk to God, okay? He wants you to have a conversation with him, have a connection with him. There was a lot more that it said about different kind of ways to put it, but it's amazing how the Bible puts prayer as this really cool thing. It tells you that prayer is something that you need to have a good Christian life. You need prayer. Prayer is something that will lift your spirit when you're feeling down because you will have faith that your prayers will be heard and they will be answered. I mean, most of the time they won't be answered in the way you expect. I mean, I prayed for having amazing siblings, but yes, my siblings are very bad, but they are amazing in their ways.
And you're looking straight towards me.
I mean, my brother might have his problems, but he is smart. He's helped me with my homework, which is very fascinating. Sarah, she is very bright and smart in some ways, and she can sing, and she even likes to play her little flute thingy. And it's really awesome how she can do that, because I can't do that. Well, we have this thing at my church, and well, it's we're doing this whole thing on prayer, which is why I thought I should talk about prayer to you guys. Well, we were doing this thing on Wednesday nights, and well, he asked us, what is your perspective of prayer? I mean, what is your perspective of prayer? Is it conversation, singing, praising, reading? It's from dancing to worship. It's a variety of things. But my analogy that I had was so fascinating to me because it just came out. And you're sitting in a classroom. It's loud, there's commotion everywhere, but then it quiets down when the teacher asks a question. You raise your hand and the teacher calls on you to answer. Then everything goes silent as you speak. Everyone is paying attention to you. All eyes on you. God is a teacher who calls me to speak, and the students who listen, because he will speak to you in many different ways, but also he will listen. He's not like that friend who will just keep talking and talking and never let you speak. He's the friend that will listen and also have a really good conversation with you. I have numerous friends that will just want to talk about all their life and everything, but I have some friends who will just listen to me, God is that friend who's going to listen and speak to you. He is a good friend, and by praying, you're having a conversation with him, and by praying, you're letting him listen. He wants to know about your life. He wants to know what's going on. He wants to know how your day went. He wants to know what friends you don't like so you can pray about them that you will like them. Okay? He loves you. And it's like that friend who always goes when you see them, I love you, I love you. And some people are like, oh, that's weird. But no, God is that friend who's going to go up to you and say, I love you. And you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, I love you too, because I do. I mean, prayer is not something you can just cheapen out to be this sort of thing that you always ask for your wants, sometimes your needs. I mean, I have a grandma. Well, she's my dad's stepmother. She died of cancer. I mean, I prayed night after night after night for her, and she died. And you know how sometimes that makes you feel horrible inside? You're like, oh no, I feel very horrible. Well, my great-grandmother died. I prayed for her night after night after night. Nothing came to be. But after my grandmother died, all my friends were encouraging me. I even found out some friends that were not really my friends. They were just using me to get to someone. I had to disconnect from them. I disconnected from some of my really bad friends because of that moment. Because I looked for comfort and they weren't giving it. God was my comfort in all those situations. I mean, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, but I just felt so enlightened after praying because it lets me get my load off. You know that one friend, they'll call you at the end of the day just to know what happened to you, and how you're doing. Or I have this friend from my camp, and she she'll call me every day, or she'll try to, and she'll ask me. We live in totally different states and cities, and she'll call me and be like, "So, what have you done today?" She doesn't know any of my friends. I met her from a totally different scenario. She knows none of you. She doesn't even know you. And she goes, "Oh, how's so-and-so?" She'll ask me how's my friendship with Hannah. She'll ask me how I'm doing with Sarah. She'll ask me all the time, and she doesn't even know you guys. And she is one of my very Christian friends because she has these other friends that she'll talk about, and I'll ask them about her. I don't even know her friends, and we'll sometimes talk about our camp friends. I love camp. And it was such a Christian experience. I mean, the worship was amazing. They did skits. They did tons of versions of prayer and it made me feel so enlightened because prayer it's like a big circle. And off the sides you have worship, you have singing, dancing, all that stuff. Then you have in the other corner you have speaking and sermons, and you have reciting prayers, reciting monologues about it. And then you go down and you have journaling, reading the Bible and writing about it. Writing down your thoughts. What are your questions? I mean, you can pray about your questions, and yes, they will be answered in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I had this amazing question, and it was on the concept of why is prayer so important? And I had a friend who was going through a situation, and she was speaking, and she gives me the answer. It's right there. And I was so amazed because I had asked that question the night before. And then I come to church, and she gives me the answer. She goes, "I just feel like you just need to know this answer." And she recites the answer. The answer was, prayer is something that you can have. That it's something God gives you to do. I mean, He gives you the Bible, which is His Word. He gives you friends, family, so you can speak to them, to spread the Word. He gives you a mouth to speak. He gives you words. He gives you a voice. I mean, for some people, He might give you, like, dancing-wise, He might give you excellent footwork. He might give you a voice for singing. He might give you an excellent voice for speaking, as in you just know the right words to say. I mean, today I was so nervous. I did not know if I could do it. I mean, it kept putting off, and I'm actually glad I did, because the night before I just had this revelation, and it just came to me that I should change what I had originally planned on saying. And I'm glad I did, because this sounds so much better than what I had originally planned it to be. So I just want to wrap it up, and I want to ask you, as my final question is, what does prayer mean to you?